And hi, Ro. Hi, Suzette. Good morning, Carrie. Good morning. Good morning. There we go. My gosh, I'm better today. My hair is so dirty. It's unreal. Like this this little bandana's working for its life this morning. I have like massage oil hair, you know what I mean? And I couldn't get it together this morning to shower because I had to give Luna a shower this morning. And that's very traumatic for her because water. And I felt like that's who was showering this morning, not me. Another time. Another time. Oof, guys. I am so glad that I feel better today because I wasn't sure what was going to happen with me, quite frankly, this week. It was not a ride that I would want to go on again. Like, damn. But I am feeling better today. My energy seems to be moving through my body, not getting stuck inside of it and driving me insane. So that's good. We are still very much in the energy of this full moon in Leo. And oddly enough, here in central Pennsylvania, the birds are singing spring songs. Are any of you hearing that this morning? I was just sitting here listening to them, and I'm like, "Ooh, I think you guys are. I don't think it's true, guys. Like, I hear ya, but it's the end of January, so. Ooh. Oh no. Good morning. Hi, Sarah. Good morning, Claudia. So this morning, good morning, Janelle. This morning, I finally made a TikTok. I haven't made a TikTok in so long. I just haven't, felt like a person who does that anymore. And I talked about timelines, and I want to talk about that a little bit with you this morning because, in my perspective, there are collective timeline shifts, and then there are the timeline shifts that happen to us individually, right? And there's I mean, I could talk about this for days, honestly, because it's so interesting to me to just like kind of pick a thread and like start unraveling it. But I've been trying to put words to what I've been feeling this week and why it's felt so insane to me specifically. And what I've come up with is that there has been several major collective timeline shifts, but we had another one, right? And when we have a major timeline shift, obviously it shakes up your little timelines too, right? But what's happening all at the same time, like in rapid succession, is your healing is affecting your personal timeline. The collective timeline is affecting your personal timeline. And you keep making choices and adjustments that shift things for you, right? So it feels like for me, my physical body is rarely holding all of my energy at all, right? Like less than usual because it feels like I'm scattered across so many different timelines. And I believe I'll click into one for a minute. Hey, baby, that I'll click into one for a minute at some point, but things are still moving to make room for me there. Does that make sense? Like it's it's chaotic, but there's an order to the chaos. It's like everything will go where it is supposed to go. And I think this is very hold high note energy for yourself. It's kind of like you already have a vision of the energy you want to be in. So keep pushing for that, keep holding on to that because it's being you are attracting that energy to you. It's very much happening. So I'm feeling that way. If you understood anything, I feel like I'm not making any sense lately, but I still keep talking. So here we are. Exactly, Claudia. Claudia said random shuffle on the jukebox. Extra points if you know what a jukebox is. Good morning, Jackie. Oh my goodness. Good morning, magical mofo. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Nelly. So, anyhow. Hi, Lori. What do you need? Are you recovered from your bath? You're gonna have to wait. Take a seat. Now she decides. Now she decides she wants to go do stuff. She woke up late. I'm talking about Luna. She woke up late and she only peed when I took her out because she was like, ugh, it's damp out here. And then I gave her a bath and traumatized her. Now she's like, let me outside. I cannot. Mom's busy. Let me close this door. Hold on. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Kids. All right. So I'm excited to kind of tap into this full moon energy with you this morning and just get some vibes from these cards. So, what I would say to you is I'm going to give you three things. If you're new here, welcome to Coffee and Magic. We do this every Friday and Monday. Fridays are 10 a.m., Mondays are 9 a.m. You can always watch the previous Coffee Magics on my YouTube channel, or you can catch them on Instagram, wherever the video things are. It saves in both places automatically. So I gave you three things. They correspond when I pull from this deck. This is the, what deck is this? Oh my God, my brain just forgot about it. You know, something Avalon Oracle deck by Colette Baron Reed, something like that. And this is what we're using this morning. So take a second and kind of sit with the energy right now. And then maybe, what do you need to know for this full moon energy? Does that feel good? Wisdom of Avalon. Thank you, guys. Whatever, right? Ah. Oh, I'm just glad to be feeling better. Can you tell? All right. So I'm going to give you three things. The three things are teas because I'm on a tea kick right now. So we're going to go with green tea. This is very simple. Green tea, black tea, or chai. Okay. So a green tea, a black tea, or chai. And chai, of course, is going to have cornucopia of spices. So green tea, black tea, or chai. What's it going to be this morning? These cards are ready to come out. I almost started, did you see that? I almost started tossing these cards out before before I gave you your choices. So, green tea, black tea, or chai? Green tea, black tea, or chai? What are you feeling this morning? Go ahead and drop your selection in the comments. Obviously, you can pick more than one tea. Green tea, black tea, or chai? Oh, look, it's my collie shirt this morning. All right, tell me when you're ready. Green tea is on deck. Good morning, Rosa. Okay, so green tea, black tea, and chai. And this is going to be your green tea. Here we go. Truth, the Bard, Grail Knight. I mean, we have been getting this. These two cards have been so incessantly talking to us. So we pay attention to this if you've been getting this a lot, or even if you haven't, because it's clearly in the collective as well. So we've got Truth, we've got the Bard, and the Grail Knight. Good morning, Jen. Your choices this morning are green tea, black tea, and chai, and this is your green tea. We've got the Bard, the Grail Knight, and Truth. Okay. All right. I'm sorry I didn't see this chat. Good morning, Chris. Hi, Cindy, and hi, Melissa. Okay. So, all about your story this morning, friends. What is your story, right? What do you want? This is the billion-dollar question at this point, right? But more importantly than that question, if you can believe it, is this secondary question. Are you allowed to want what you want? Are you allowed to want what you want? And just kind of sit with that for a second because we all want stuff, right? Like we all want things. Like we spend our days thinking about things we want, right? And some of those things we categorize as absolutely not possible, right? Possibly inappropriate or dangerous or whatever. But if you were to have the most boring categories possible, because this is kind of how our brains do, isn't it? Can't do that because it's too expensive. Can't do that because it'll affect other people in my life in a way that I project that they won't like, right? So, sorry, can't do that, too expensive. Sorry, can't do that because someone else may not like it potentially, right? Are those the two main columns for you or what? Right? Like maybe you have different columns, but I mean, collectively, I think those are the two biggest, especially like in our society here. Can't afford it, too expensive. Can't do it because it might affect somebody in my life in a way that they won't want, maybe, right? Selfish. Okay, so what do you want? And is what you want allowed within the framework that you've created for yourself in your life, right? So if you have column A and column B working tirelessly to filter out all of your desires, what does that leave you with? What can you actually do based on your own rules and the rubric for your life? What story are you allowed to write? Because if you're sitting here spending time on Coffee and Magic, maybe even doing one-on-ones with me or doing a workshop or taking other people's workshops and filling yourself with all of this talk of like expansion and timelines and shifting and everything, does it really even fucking matter if the actual rules inside of your brain cancel out everything? That doesn't matter? Like, are you wasting your time by not being actually truthful about what you will allow yourself to do and won't allow yourself to do? We are. We are doing tea this morning, apparently. So, all that being said, think about that. And then also, while you're thinking about that, like on the flip side, who is writing your story? Because I hope it's you. Just saying. All right. We're gonna move on from green tea because I feel like that was enough, and you're gonna sit with it, and it's gonna be so so great. Welcome, Shonda. All right, so your choices this morning: green tea, black tea, and chai. You might be feeling like very tea this morning. That you need all three of the teas, and I feel like that's perfectly acceptable for this morning if we're just drinking all the tea. But um, whatever. So that was your green, and then we have black, and then we have chai. Okay. All right. But for serious, my green tea friends, how did that hit for you? Did that hit for you? Did it slap? Okay, here we go for black tea. Okay, here comes your black tea. Hawk, fire fairy, truth, oof. Black tea friends, there's movement about. And you're like, finally, because you don't like it when nothing's moving, do you? Just sit with your feelings, and that's been stupid. All right, so the energy is moving. So that is the first news for my black tea friends. Um, and you probably have been actually seeing a lot of birds of prey or hawks specifically. Um, think of the birds right now as doing a few things for you. One, clearing the air of all of your gunk, right? Because if you have indeed been sitting in fields and doing all the processing and thinking and spinning and, I'm just talking about myself, but maybe you were doing that too. You created a lot of junk in the air. It needs a clearing out. So invite that bird energy in to start clearing out. You may even, if you are a person that does indeed connect the energetic to the physical through ritual, this may be a great time to bust out some absolutely legally obtained feathers and start clearing out your space with some smoky stuff. You know what I'm saying? However that works for you, because it's a lot of energy that's been put out into the air around you and needs a direction to go, right? Get it out of here. Send it. And that bird energy is coming through to help clear for you. So invite it, right? The other thing that hawk energy is doing, oh God, can I just pause right now to tell you? I almost feel like crying right now because my like, I'm back. Do you know what I mean? Oh, holy fuck. I thought that I truly thought that I had, lost my, magic in this way, and then I was gonna have to completely, end my business. I don't know. I was going dark, but, I'm back. I'm back. Okay, anyway, back to this. Um, the hawk energy specifically, if you've been seeing hawks, like, what are you asking to see? Like, what are the signs you're asking to see? Um, you can be very specific about this now. Just saying. Like, it's happening. You can be very specific. Don't be afraid to be like, "Hey, I'm going to need the most in your face sign possible." If that's you right now. Although, I mean, they have been that way, haven't they? But all of that to say, the energy is moving and you are feeling that fire. So just allow it to happen. Now, at the same time, just like the first T, we have truth here. And I don't imagine we're going to be able to get rid of this one. What is true? I mean, we really have to ask that question. You have to ask that question of yourself again, just like green tea was asking you, what are you allowed to do? Black tea is asking you, what's true for you now? Because if you are still navigating everything in your life right now based off of what was true before, whenever before was, you're going to run into some serious blocks. What's true now? What's true now? You don't lose any of your iterations, by the way. Do you know that? Like, if you decide to change your personality, the things you do, the things you like, the friends you have around you, your job, do you know you don't lose the previous iterations of self? They're all always with you. You will keep those lessons, you will integrate that learning, but you are allowed to change in this life. In fact, it is recommended. So, what is true for you now? If you can let yourself tap into that vein, this fire is going to be a lot more fun for you. As opposed to burning you up, it's going to fuel your journey. Do you know what I'm saying? That is your black tea. That's your black tea. The last tea is chai, and hopefully it is spicy. Shuffle it good. I mean, we always shuffle good, but really shuffle today. Did that hit for my black tea friends? Did it slap? Oh god. All right, reminder, Normalized Magic Workshop. Friends, we only have two more, and then we are going to be opening up for registration for the next round. Um, if you are already in workshop and you haven't let me know if you're staying, please do, because then that kind of will dictate how many other people are allowed to come in. But if you are interested in joining the Normalized Magic Workshop, we meet once a week in the evening on Wednesdays, usually, and we talk about all the magic things. It's like Coffee and Magic, but much more intimate. Would you say? I would say. Sometimes we pull cards, sometimes we do life channeling. I don't know. It's always something. It's this. All right, here comes your chai. Woo! This one's gonna be spicy. I'm just saying you can't change your selection just because I said that, but this one has spices to it. Okay, it's fine, but spices. All right, you ready? Okay. Burden, movement, mystery. Okay, so here's a question: which one of these cards is most irritating to you? Is it the burden card? Is it the movement card? Or is it the mystery card? Like, which one of these just really grinds your gears? You know what I'm saying? For me, it's this one. That's why it's all wrinkled up because, I used to attack it a little bit. Um, but maybe for you, it's the movement or burden. Um, which one? What a fun one. Okay, anyway, let's get to this reading. We've got the mystery, movement, and burden. But yeah, it would be good for you to identify which of these pings you, triggers you most. And I love that you're telling me in the comments. Keep telling me. Got a lot of burden haters. We have some mystery haters. I feel like if you haven't been here with Coffee and Magic for a while, or if you don't have this deck, the mystery card may not be as irritating, but maybe after today's reading, this will be the most irritating to you. You never know. Like there's always time to have new favorites, right? Okay, but by and large, a lot of you are really feeling triggered by the burden card, so we'll start with that. Here's the thing. I don't mean to be this way today, but apparently it's just the way it is. Like, okay, your burden. What is that? Like, what's your burden? Like, did you make it up? Like, are you playing out a story about this burden? Is the burden part of your personality? Like, what is it? Are you like, what is this? Because it feels like you've taken a little bit of the kinky enjoyment of complaining about how difficult some things have been for you, right? Or saying, like, well, I can't do XYZ, even though it's what I'm saying I want to do because of this heavy thing, this situation, this burden that, like, there's nothing I can do about it. It's a burden, right? Like, where am I supposed to put it? This is going to be where you need to focus, but in a different way. You've already been focusing on it, but let's imagine like you've been focusing on it like far to the left, right? So you're just ignoring all the rest of it. Let's shift into the center so we can see it in a more magnanimous view because this burden is actually telling you a lot. The burden is telling you the place that you have the most fear of being big. The burden is telling you the place where you have the most fear of being big. I'm gonna give you a second. I want you to like tap into your burden thing and see if that feels right to you. Does that feel accurate? And when I say it, do you get mad at me or do you feel it? Like where did you get it? Do you see it? Is it true? Is that burden connected to the place where you are most afraid of being big? Okay, so let's continue the story. Then we have the mystery and movement. And so, friendos, again, I'm going to ask you, like, what the fuck are you doing here? Literally, like, what are we doing all of this for? If not to identify this and like move on, right? So, you've been doing all of this work. Will you allow it to change your life, or do you like always want to be pedaling on a stationary bike? Is that like what you like to do? You know what I mean? And if so, okay. And just like I always tell you, I really don't care what you do, just don't lie about it, right? So if you're never making a change, I don't give a shit. But don't sit here and tell me for 10 years that you're about to make a change because that is annoying. Do you see what I mean? Like, don't gaslight me about your shit or anybody or yourself. So you've been given an opportunity to make some moves. And what have you been doing? Have you been making these moves or have you been green teeing the shit out of these moves, right? Just pop it into column A, column B. Can't do this, can't do that. Too expensive, not selfless enough. Boom, 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 boom. Like, what are we doing, right? When you say, I want things to change, change shows up at your door and you like act like Jehovah's Witnesses are out there and you're like ducking and turning down lights. What is this game we're playing? It's like super weird. It's like, do you want to hear about our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ or not? Right? Ah, so anyway, your chai is spicy this morning because you need a little bit of spicy, honestly. Again, I don't care. You don't need to prove anything to me. Whatever, you know? But what are we doing? Because what a waste of all of our time if you're just going to sit here for the next 3 years and like wax poetic about all the movement and change that you're about to do that you never actually do. Like, let's get going. We have a whole new world to create, and the other one we need to like bang down and like get rid of. What are you doing? And what are you so damn afraid of? What's this? Right? So, anyway, cool. That feels like that's the end of that message. Um, and I will say, just overall for our tea session this morning, if you haven't noticed, there's a little bit of fire energy and some moves, some moves, some moves. If you want to see the recording of today's session, as soon as I'm done, you'll be able to see it on Instagram or on my YouTube channel. If you're on TikTok, you should be able to get on my Instagram for my profile. But same name all over, Saramala. So yes, those are your messages for today. I'm back online, so I'm actually very excited because, like I said, I thought I was going to have to kind of like put this business in a casket and move away. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was being very, very emo about it. But I am back. My energy feels pretty good today. I'm going to continue hydrating and taking care of myself, and I'm going to have a nice weekend. I hope you have a nice weekend as well. And I will see you on Monday at 9 a.m. Again, if you would like to join the next round of Normalized Magic Workshop, send me a DM. I will send an email out sooner than later. I keep saying that. I will, but I will. I'll send that out pretty soon. And I love you. And I'm glad that we're all here just drinking this tea together. Imagine we had tea for coffee and magic. What a world. All right. Goodbye, friends. Mwah. Love you. Goodbye. Goodbye.